Hello, and welcome to AMG Time's video tutorial. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to one of the main sections of the program called categories, commonly known in the industry as pay codes. The Categories section is the second menu item on the Definitions tab. It is intended for defining how the time of the employee can be spent. The default categories are easy to recognize, such as the absent category, which clearly means that during a certain time period, the employee was absent, or the break category, which means that the employee was on a break, or the work time category, which means that the employee was working, and so on. In this window, you can see the list of all categories, add new ones, and edit or delete existing entries. Note that the default categories of AMG Time cannot be deleted, but you can set them inactive if not interested in using them. You can also filter the categories by different criteria, generate reports, and adjust the table to include more information. When adding a new category, the code and the name fields are required to set up a category. All other information is optional. Here is where you can set the category active or inactive if not in use. Then you should choose the type of the category. It can be hourly or money. If hourly, you should fill out the following information. Miscellaneous entry overrides absence. Check this option to make sure that the employee is not marked as absent when this category is applied. The next two checkboxes are exclusive of each other. If you pick Pay Miscellaneous Entry, the employee will be paid for that miscellaneous entry, such as sick time. However, if you choose Add to Benefits, the employee will only be paid if there is enough balance for that specific benefit. When either Pay Miscellaneous Entry or Add to Benefit options are checked, the Calculate Overtime for this category option becomes active. Most likely, you will not need to check this feature. However, if for any reason you need to pay your employees overtime after the miscellaneous entry, then go ahead and check this feature. For example, if you have union employees and you are required to pay overtime whether or not the employee was working during regular hours, then you will need to check this feature. Miscellaneous entry links to nearest transactions. Checking this option means that the miscellaneous transactions of this category should be stuck to the nearest in and out transactions. When you enable this feature, you also activate the next feature called Pay for Intermediate Inside Hours. If this option is enabled, then during the miscellaneous entry of this category, if the employee returns back to the workplace, he will be paid for those intermediate hours spent inside the workplace. It is recommended to check this option only if the category is not paid. Otherwise, double payment for the same hours will occur. Outside category. This option can also be active only if the miscellaneous entry links to nearest transaction option is checked. Here, you would want to select the category which will be applied after the allowed duration of this category's miscellaneous transaction, when the employee is late. As I have already mentioned, all these options are active only when the category is set to hourly. If you set the category to money, it means that when adding the miscellaneous transaction of this category, instead of entering the duration of the miscellaneous entry, you'll have to enter the amount of money which will be added or subtracted from final wage, depending on which option you have selected when adding the entry. Also, from this Export tab, you can define whether you want to include this category's hours in payroll exports or not. If you want to enable this feature, then you should check, do you wish to export this category box, and fill in the field code and regular, overtime 1, overtime 2, and overtime 3 fields when they apply. This is all for now for the category setup. Thank you for your attention.